everyone. It's Bethany Winston here from Kidding Around, and I'm here today with Red Watson.
Hi.
We know so many of you. We have some people who are joining in our live. But we are here with Red Watson, and we are here at Century Park Kids Planet, and so many of you have been on our page and you've been asking so many questions about what's happening to this playground. So today we are here with Red, and he is going to answer all of our questions. He's going to take us through the park. He's going to show us what's happening and answer your questions on why the playground's changing and what you have to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Thank you so much for your support of our programs and our park. You guys have been fantabulous.
Aw,
so you guys
thank
are
you.
Awesome. Everyone knows that Kids Planet is very near and dear to Greer's heart. It was built in 1999. It was a community build playground.
Yes.
Lots of blood, sweat, tears, and money went into it. So our primary goal is to make sure that we get something put back in here that's going to be just as special and just as attractive and inclusive and as awesome as Kids Planet is now. So let's turn around and go through it, and we'll kind of show you what's going out and what's coming in.
Thank you so much. Let's see it. Okay, I'm going to flip my camera.
All right.
And Red's going to take us on a tour. He even has some renditions so we can see exactly what the park's going to look like.
Yep, so we have right here, this is our 2 to 5 year old area right now. And it's actually will still be a 2 to 5 area. We'll take all of this equipment out. There will not be any more wood in the new playground, and there will not be any mulch in the new playground. It'll be all pour in place rubber surfacing. And come on over here, I'll show you the rendering of what the new 2 to 5 area will look like.
I'm just going to say, if any of you watching have any questions, feel free to ask them. We should be able to see them and we'll answer them.
Yep. So you can see here we have a large shade structure. We heard from our community and parents that shade was a primary goal to achieve. We have, you know, traditional swings. You see the design, kind of like water flowing through, some mounds, the big play structure in the center. And it's fenced, of course, so that we can keep our little ones in the area and see them. And transparency is a big deal too. Parents want to be able to see their children wherever they're playing. So if you were ground level looking through this, you should be able to see your child at any place that they are contained in this area at any time.
That's huge, because I know so many parents have told us how much here they love this playground, but it can be hard to watch your children. Yeah,
absolutely. Cool. So let's move on through. This main thoroughfare right here is kind of everyone is probably familiar when they enter Kids Planet and you see the big logo painted. We will have all new pathways that will go throughout the park. They will be ADA accessible.
Okay.
There will be a walking trail that surrounds both playgrounds. It will have outdoor fitness equipment. We will be adding a 3-bay Zipline station.
Wow.
Yeah, very cool.
Now, is there any other park in this area that has 3 zip lines? I'm trying to think.
I'm not sure, but I know there are no other in Greer, so I know we'll be the first right here. I think that might be
a record for that.
Well, and on top of that, we're going to have a 100-foot single-bay zip line station on the east end of the property that we'll see in just a little bit where it's going, but super cool on that also.
That's great.
As we go out through here, where you see our flagpole now, approximately this will be kind of a big central area. It'll be all paved, and there will actually be a misting station, a series of mist. They call it the mystical arching station.
Okay.
But where kids can run and cool off. I think it's going to have 5 misters they can run, and it's just not inside of the playground area. We wanted to make sure that it wasn't incorporated inside of the playground area, but we wanted to keep it separate. And so you'll have a mystical arch section on one side of the central plaza, and then on the other side you'll have another concrete area that has musical station that you can come up with. I think 5 or 6 different musical instruments that children can come up and play. So we'll see pictures of those renderings at the end of the tour, but come on, let's keep walking.
And can you tell us a little bit about why this park is being redone?
Well, it was built in '99, and at the time, with a community build project then, a lot of playgrounds were built out of wood, and you can kind of look out here and see, you know, for 20 years, it's held up pretty good.
Yes.
But playground safety standards have changed. We are held accountable and liable for the safety and the well-being of all of our patrons. So it really made sense, if we are going to come in and put something in new, that it's up to date, that it meets playground and safety standards, and that also is something that we can maintain. We spend a lot of money every year in mulch and treating the wood to make sure that it stays safe and trying to keep it up to date as possible. But moving forward, we want a playground that hopefully we will not have to replace in 20 years, but maybe 50 or 60 years down the road. Yeah, so cool.
Sense. So while we're walking, we have someone who asked when the renovations are starting.
Okay, so good question. The Tuesday after Labor Day, we will come in and we will start what we will call demolition. Now, our department will come in and take out all of the personalized items. And you may see some throughout the tour, but there are pickets that people paid to have their names engraved on. Yes. There are personalized painted tiles that you see over here, such as this one. There's all sorts of personal effects throughout the park. We are going to collect those. We're going to store them. And then after the new playground has been installed, we're going to come out through here and figure out a place that suits best to display all of those personal effects in one location.
Okay.
So that everyone that contributed to the original playground is certainly honored in the new playground. Now, of course, if someone wants the opportunity to, to take their picket back, or, if they want to take it home, I would encourage them to contact us anytime between now and Labor Day.
Okay.
We'll try to sort through that, catalog it the best that we can, and make arrangements for them to come and pick it up. But there is a plan for us to display it. We understand, again, that a big emotional connection to all of those pieces that are in the park, and we want to make sure that everyone that visits the new Kids Planet can see all of the items from the old Kids Planet also. That's great. Well, why don't you show us what we're going to do down here at the other side of the playground? So all of the picnic shelters will stay where they are. The restrooms will stay where they are. Are you renovating any of those, or just the playground? We will not renovate those as part of the original construction project. Okay. But after everything has been installed, we may come back after that and do some upgrades to the picnic shelters and the restrooms. Okay. Yeah. All right, so moving down through here, this is what we call the 5 to 12 playground area. And I have a rendering right down here, but the new 5 to 12 area will be in the exact location as it is. So the layout and orientation of the two playgrounds will be the same in the new Kids Planet. Thank you. Did you like it? No. No?
Sorry. We like this. We like this part.
The shelters?
No, we like this part.
Oh, okay. Well,
about this situation.
Oh, it'll be unique. You have to see it after it's installed.
It looks exactly kind of like every other park in town.
You think so?
Squishy stuff in the middle.
Yeah.
All our kids are sad too. You can ask them.
Okay.
Ask them.
Yeah. Well, that's a very good point. We when we were designing Kids Planet, we actually visited 7 local elementary schools with our design team, and we asked children what they wanted to see in the new Kids Planet. We held public input sessions, and so our architectural firm came back, and this was the design that they came up with. So again, this is the 5 to 12-year-old area. This is the rendering of what it will look like. Again, you'll see there's some traditional swings here, pour-in-place surfacing that's ADA accessible. Several different tower structures throughout. Shade structures, that's one thing that we really heard, that we wanted more shade.
Yes, there's a ton of shade there, which is great.
Yep, and you can really see right here, one thing that we heard was that we wanted an enchanted forest theme, or kind of like an Alice in Wonderland, and that kind of goes back to the butterflies and the oversized insects that we saw earlier, but really cool to see that. It's not shown on this rendering, but this area will also be enclosed with a fence, also for security.
Okay.
And you can kind of see a sneak peek there of the music section and the zipline bays that we were talking about earlier.
Yes, and we're going to look at all those in closer detail later.
Yep.
I love how imaginative the butterfly details and this little tower are.
Yep.
I feel like that is really unique.
Yeah, it really is. We'll go around through here. I just want to show the walking path. Again, this path will be taken up. It will be reinstalled with concrete, and it'll be ADA accessible. And we will have the outdoor fitness stations that kind of provide someone that wants to just come and exercise that maybe does not have a child and a playground, but they can come enjoy the park also. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, we actually have a couple questions that have come up.
Okay, cool.
One is not necessarily related to this playground, but somebody's asking if Greer has any plans to create a splash pad?
A splash pad? As of right now, we do not have any plans to create a splash pad, but it's certainly something that we've talked about before, and
Yeah.
we've kind of seen where it may fit. But as of right now, the only water features incorporated are the mystical arching section.
Okay, which is great.
Yeah.
And then somebody else is wondering if you're going to have to cut down a lot of trees for the new playground.
Awesome question. I thought about that a while ago. We are meeting with our civil engineer tomorrow, and it is our intent to not disturb any of the trees at all. So we know that these trees are old. They provide a great canopy and a lot of shade out here. And yeah, we are tree huggers. We do not want to cut down any trees. You know, sometimes during construction, something may happen, or, you know, trees are very sensitive with their root base or their root system, and things get damaged. So it's hard to 100% promise that a tree will not be affected, but it's our intent to leave all the trees and keep as much natural shade as we can.
Yeah, we're happy to hear that, and our reader that was commenting is too.
Yeah.
And we have someone else who's asking about paths for dog walkers.
Mm-hmm. Sure. About paths?
Yeah, paths,
Yeah.
you know, especially for dog walkers.
Sure, absolutely. Well, our policy is that everyone follows the City of Greer ordinance that dogs be on a leash at all times.
Okay.
And that they display their inoculations and all of their rabies shots and whatnot. So we do ask that, if possible, of course, service dogs are always welcome. We ask that people do not bring pets inside of Kids Planet, just because, you know, a lot of kids run up and approach animals.
Right.
But again, in our parks, they're always welcome to come out and walk through. As long as there's not an organized event taking place, they're more than welcome. So we
Okay.
encourage that.
That's great. And I thought, you know, we have several people who've just come on, and, you know, I know, like we talked to other people, some people are very disappointed to see this torn down.
Yep.
But I know earlier you addressed that there are actual safety concerns
Yes.
that are being addressed.
Yes.
Could you just talk about that again for the new people that are on?
Yeah, so, you know, in 1999, a community-built playground, it was very common to build playgrounds out of wood.
Okay.
It was probably the most affordable way to go when you were really starting from scratch and building money to build one, and this was done in an absolute phenomenal way. This is an upstate destination. I mean, we have people come from out of state, from all across the state of South Carolina to visit Kids Planet. But over time, playground safety standards have evolved.
Yeah.
There's a lot more attention, and thankfully so, to being inclusive, you know, including things like sensory processing disorder, including play elements for autism, making sure that the surfacing and that the pathways and that the play elements are accessible to children in wheelchairs.
Yes.
So it makes sense, you know, after 20 years when so many things have evolved, that the playgrounds evolve also.
Yeah.
In addition to that, you know, we put a lot of money into Kids Planet every year treating the wood. All of the wood that you see has to be treated with an oil type base stain. And then we have to come in and refill all of that mulch every year also. So a lot of maintenance goes into it. So, you know, I believe, and trust me, I love Kids Planet. My very first day on the job here in 1999 was helping install this playground. So it's near and dear to me also, but we really feel that it's time that we kind of come in and hit the reset button and provide everyone with something, again, just as special and just as inclusive and just as awesome as the original Kids Planet was, but
Yes.
just now in 2019.
And if you're just coming on this now, we do have renditions that we showed earlier that you
Yep.
can go back and look at, where you can see the pictures of what it looks like. And it does truly still have many unique features that you're gonna love, like a misting station.
Yep. Okay, so I want to show everyone,
Okay.
especially our baseball parents, they may be familiar with this area right here. This is a lower parking lot that's usually used for baseball. But come on over here. I want you to
Okay.
see the elevation here, because it's going to be incorporated into a new feature of the playground. You can see here the terrain, how it kind of falls down
Yes.
towards that flat spot. We're going to put two huge, we call them Hillside Slides in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so when you come down to this area, there'll be two huge slides that you can go and maybe race your friend down or whatever, and they use the natural terrain, you know, and gravity as far as installing them to install them in, you know, and work with what we have to minimize grading and, again, to not disturb trees. But it's going to be super fun. Very cool element. And then also we're going to install a parking lot down here. All which you see is grass and gravel, and where the picnic shelter is, we're going to turn all of that into parking because we need it. We really need extra parking here for our events such as our Easter egg hunt,
Yes.
baseball games, and just for Kids Planet also. So this area right here is going to be super cool to watch it transform.
We have someone asking if there's any opportunities for volunteers such as Girl Scouts.
During the construction phase, we will subcontract all of that out.
Okay.
Cunningham Recreation will be the provider of playground equipment for the entire site. So they will actually have their installers come out and install all the playground equipment. All the grading will be subcontracted out. But after Kids Planet has been installed,
Okay.
and we open it to the public, I'm sure there will be opportunities for volunteer groups to come in and maybe do landscaping beds. We've had butterfly gardens. We've had all different sorts of volunteer opportunities, and we certainly welcome anyone that wants to come in and help. So I encourage them to contact our department, and we will certainly work with them in any way that we can.
That's great.
Cool. So let's keep going this way. Somewhere in this area, right around here, is where the 100-foot zip line will be.
Okay.
So, you know, if you kind of if you look to where that turn in the asphalt is,
Okay.
maybe almost all the way down to where that turn is. It may be difficult to tell on camera, but it'll be a single bay 100-foot zipline station. Really cool also. It seems that people of all ages enjoy that. We've seen a lot of footage of even seniors on the zipline station. So we hope to see that when we come out here.
Yes, I know that our team member Christina especially loves the zip line. We have some videos of her using them. So Christina, if you're watching this, we expect to see you on it when it opens.
That's right. That's right. And again, you know, we will have outdoor fitness equipment. We'll see those pictures of that in just a few minutes, but they'll be kind of sporadically placed around the outside of the walking trail when it's installed. So we're now at the back side of the 5 to 12 area, and as far as the orientation of the walking trail, it'll change a little bit, but basically it'll just encompass both of the playgrounds so that, again, someone can come out and enjoy it and walk around the playgrounds, but not necessarily have to go into the playgrounds if they don't want to.
We have somebody who's asking what ages the zip line will be for. Like, will there be a certain age a child needs to be before they can go on it?
That's a great question, and I'm not a certified playground safety inspector, but I know that we have designed everything out here to be compatible for the most and widest age range possible. So I don't know what the minimum age requirement is. I don't think there's a top end on it, so you can enjoy it as old as you want, or as old as you anyone of any age, seniors, I'm sorry. Hey there, how are y'all? But that's certainly something I can find out. One of the three swings on the 3-bay station will be wheelchair accessible.
Okay.
So that's a big thing that we wanted to make sure of. So good question. I'll find out the answer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And our person was asking for volunteering. I'm hoping I understand her question now because it kind of cuts off part of it. And my view right here, but I guess she was asking about volunteering to create some kind of permanent structure. Is that something that the Greer Department of Parks and Recreation ever does?
We always, especially like in the design of something, that may be an opportunity where we solicit people to come in and give us ideas about how we can display the panels, the personalized panels and pickets. Our Cultural Arts Division will be in charge of kind of designing that and picking the location where it'll be out here. So, but yeah, if someone would like to be a part of that, again, we encourage them to contact me or my department. And you know, the more community input, thought, and help that we get, and the more engaged and involved the community is, the more that we find that we get support, and that's what we want. We want it to be a two-way street. We want to support them, we want them to support us, and we want to provide a safe and up-to-date park for everyone to enjoy. So let's move on up here. We're coming back to the plaza where the mystical arching section will be, and the music.
Okay.
And we'll take a look at those renderings of those areas and the picnic shelter right here when you come in.
Yes, and we have pictures that you all can see if you stay on here that's going to show what those hillside slides will look like, and that musical area in the zip line.
Yep, very cool. There will be park lighting. So, you know, right now we kind of have the old wooden poles with the LED fixtures on them. We'll have like the acorn style, the black iron park lights around all the walking trails at night. So it'll look really nice, just like Greer City Park. Like our new park that we're opening over at Center for the Arts off of Snow Street in downtown Greer. It'll really be gorgeous when you ride by at night. To see it lit up, it's really going to be something pretty to look at.
And for those of you who are new, I hope that you can hear us over the train. Red was already telling us that a lot of this art inside the park is not going to be just destroyed. Like they're going to incorporate it into the new playground once they have their design ready.
Yep, that's right. Panels like these, the pickets that have people's names on them, the sponsored plaques that are on different structures throughout. We're going to collect all of those when we start demolition. Very carefully to make sure that they're not disturbed or destroyed during demolition. And we're going to store those at our warehouse, and then after Kids Planet has been installed, then we're going to figure out a way to properly display those so that we can honor everyone that was a part of the original build.
And now we're coming up, we have some other renditions that we're going to show you.
They will all stay in the same location. We are talking about opportunities to renovate those after the project has been completed. So let's take a look. Here is the 3-bay zipline station that we were talking about.
And we have, Christina's already confirmed that she is going to ride it.
That one is 50 feet long.
Wow.
And you can see the accessible swing in the middle. But yeah, super cool element. These are the two, the big Hillside Slides that we were talking about down on the eastern end that'll go down to the new parking lot.
I love those. That looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then over here, this is a picture of what the music section will look like. We've actually incorporated some different types of elements into the final design, but you can see it's concrete so that it's accessible, and you know, there's different types of structure, like kind of like a xylophone and like drums, and there's all sorts of different options that we can put in there. And then finally, you can see what some of the fitness equipment will look like. We have replaced one of these with a chin-up station. We had a request to do that. But yeah, it's kind of traditional outdoor fitness equipment that, you know, if someone comes and they want to jog or walk around the trail, they can even stop and work out if they want.
That's great. And we know some of our moms love to go to the parks and work out with their kids. Well, thank you so much for sharing this with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so if you guys have any more questions, feel free to just put them in the comments and we'll try to get answer for you. And thank you, Red, for showing us this today. We're excited to see what it turns out like.
Awesome. Make sure everyone be looking for spring of 2020. That's when we hope to break ground on the new Kids Planet, and we hope to see you at the grand opening. Thank you.
Thank you.